Welcome back to the home of original sports perspectives. Mark Cashed it. Excuse me just 1 second. Boy, you on timeout. Let's get this thing started.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.
Hey, welcome back to the home of original sports perspective. From our couch to yours, it's your Couch Rider Raven. Jermaine Locke is saying, what's up? What's happening? Thanks for coming through. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. Of course, y'all see it. You see what's going on right now? You see the back of the wall. I took him down. It's temporary. It's temporary, but right now, my boy, he need to get it together. He need to get it together. Because today was a rough day, folks. It was a rough day. But before we even get into that rough day, let's go ahead and talk about who is here and who is actually hitting the bell. Because they hit the bell. And it says, it's Delicious. Delicious is the second one in the room because Stream Elements just hopped on as well. So there's a bot apparently running my show. So I don't know what that means. But let me know if y'all see something different. My boy Kendall is in the building. What's up, Delicious? What's up, Kendall? So you took down El Freaky. This has gotten serious. Like I said, it's temporary. He's on punishment until he can get it together. We'll get into that in just a minute here. Lisa says, I feel like crying when I heard LJ wants out of Baltimore. This is no surprise. There is no surprise right here. This is nothing. I'll get into this in just a second here. Let's see. So like I said, I appreciate y'all coming through. Every person, every like helps build the dream for the Couch Rider Raven. I don't know what Cam Rue is. If y'all see him, please bring him to the backstage because we need him in the studio so that we can talk about the issues of the Baltimore Ravens, or we're going to have quite the short show today. All right. So today, when it comes to motivational quotes, or motivational moments. Oh, Cam Rue pops in the building just now, but let's wait till he finished hooking up whatever he's hooking up as far as connection-wise, and we'll get into it. Motivational quote today is every moment is a teaching moment. When you have those people that you care about, whether it be children or friends, look for those opportunities to share what you have with them as far as knowledge-wise. My father used to tell me, give me my flowers when I'm alive. He would always go to the funeral and he'd see the most beautiful displays at the funeral. But the person that was there could not receive those flowers. If you're giving those flowers, those nuggets of knowledge away while you're living, you're giving somebody else something to build upon, a legacy to continue. And you can affect one person, and that one person will affect thousands. So that is your motivational moment today. Make sure every moment is a teaching moment, a moment of sharing with those you come across. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you the actor, the rapper, I'm telling you, the martial artist. This man does it all. Ladies and gentlemen, Cam Rue. What's good, my man?
How you doing? See you rocking the stash, huh? You got a little.
Oh yeah, it's mustache march, man. It's a contest. There's money on the line. I think there's like $10 gift cards, So I mean, if y'all want to donate to get rid of the stash, or we can do that too. But
hey, man, you look at the stash. It's all good, bro. I was like, what do you got? He has dirt on his lip. Oh, he got a mustache. Brother working a mustache.
Mustache, man. It's like, hi, how's it going?
What's going on, man?
Let's see who else in the room here. So
Hello, everyone.
we got Nate. Nathan, what's going on? He says, "How you doing? We doing great. You doing good, Cameron?"
I'm good. I'm good, man. I can't complain. God is good.
I feel you. All right, we getting now. We get some people in the room. We get some traction. Lisa says, "Then where does this leave Snoop?" I'm getting into it. Just give me a second. Give me a second.
We know what the topic of the day is going to be. We know where it's going.
Mhm. All right. So Adi says something doesn't add up. Lamar crushes the trade on the second, and they are negotiating. All right. So we're just gonna jump right in. We can get into this.
We,
My
we ain't
brother
got,
is
we
in the
got
building,
no
by
time.
the way.
We just jump right in the water, brother. We
Yeah.
got no time to be. Don't go around it.
Yeah. We ain't got no time to beat around the bush. Look, y'all saw what happened. Look, John is sitting there. He's got his coffee ready. He's ready to answer all these beautiful questions about the Baltimore Ravens and what their thoughts are after the owners, meeting together and stuff. So, and then people's phones started going off. We started hearing the bells, the same bells we just heard a second ago. And everybody sees that Lamar has perfectly timed a tweet to let everybody know how he feels about the current situation and that he has requested a trade on March 2nd. What are your thoughts, man?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
All right, so here's my thoughts on it. I'm just going ahead and say what it is. This is not news. If it was news, then it would have been in a situation to where, let's say, Baltimore had put on the exclusive franchise tag. Remember we talked about this before? He made him our girl. That's our main girl. He can't go talk to nobody else. I don't want him in the streets. Nothing like that. And then if Lamar had said, "Yo, I'm trying to talk to somebody else, whatever. I'm trying to go see somebody. I want to see other people, whatever." After we put the exclusive tag on him, then it would have been a surprise. The non-exclusive said, "I want to go see what's out there. I want to go check and see what's up, what is really popping out there, and let Baltimore decide on whether or not they wanted to match it or not." He wanted to see other people. We knew this. We knew this because Eric DeCosta put him in a position to actually go make that decision. And I think that was based off of the information that they had discussed, and his number was not there. This is not new information today. This is Lamar's way of using a negotiation tactic that was out of order, I'll be honest, because you are free to talk to whoever you want to talk to. Go talk to whoever you want to talk to. You ain't got to announce, "I'm looking for a trade." You've already got the opportunity to go see whoever you want to go see about a deal, and there's no holds bar. You can go talk to him without an agent. You can go talk to him as long as you ain't using the lawn guy, the gym guy, whoever else you were using that is not an NFLPA approved person. You could go chat with them people. Today's announcement was a tactic. And you know why it was a tactic? Because Lamar was in negotiations last week with Eric DeCosta. if you in negotiations, look, if I'm telling my wife, like, look, I want a divorce, whatever, since I can't get a kitchen pass. And then, I'm saying, like, the next week, I'm like, I'm still looking to come in at 11:30, just saying, if it's cool with you, and, let's just make that happen or whatever, but, you need to make a decision. Guess what? We ain't getting divorced because of the fact that I'm just still in negotiations about a kitchen pass. We still making plans for the future. That's where he's at right now. And this is a poorly planned negotiation tactic because Lamar wants to stay in Baltimore. He just wants to put it out there so people will actually dance with him right now. Because before, everybody else was not believing that he wants to dance, that he wants to go to them. But Irsay is one of the people who did believe. So he came in last night and was negotiating with Lamar.
Did he?
There's gonna be something.
I know he came to Baltimore. Did he go to negotiate with him?
That's the rumor. That's the rumor. He's actually, negotiating with Lamar. If he's in Baltimore, I mean, why else would you come to Baltimore if you're one of the teams?
On Baltimore because he looked like he was in Miami. Looked like he was back home.
Okay. So basically, he came into town wherever Lamar is right now to have negotiations with him. You know what I'm saying?
This is my problem, man. And
What's up?
This is why I'm tired. I'm not. This is what I was talking about when I said the nut hugging. I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about everything I was hearing before then. That's why I was glad I'm on here now.
Yeah.
Because when I say the nut hugging, a lot of people be, "Oh, Lamar this, Lamar that. Oh, the Ravens this, Raven that." Stop. Because this is what we got caught up in. And it's everybody's fault.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying it's everybody's fault because we love the Ravens, right?
Yeah.
But we love Lamar. I ain't gonna count this man's money. I'm sick and tired of counting his money.
Yep.
I just want the man to get the deal. I don't care if you want. At this point in time, I love Lamar. I've been a fan of Lamar before he became a Raven.
Mm-hmm.
Way back in Louisville, I was the prayers was the answer when he came in because I honestly never thought we would get a quarterback of that nature. To be honest with you, even though like okay, we got Troy Smith, we got Troy Smith in the, before, and we went and got what's my man that played for the Giants now? They used to be here with us. Tyrod Taylor.
Yes, sir.
I still didn't feel like, okay, we're going to take the shot, right?
Hang on just a second. Brooks in the building. She said, put it back. But
put it back up.
She want to put it back up.
Put it back up there, bro.
You want to put it back up?
No.
Come on timeout.
Put it back up.
He on timeout right now.
But I think everybody is something, and my cousin's not a Ravens fan, he's a Jets fan, and he said something that was important to me. He said, you know what? Because he's so talented, everybody want to be right. Whether she's leaving, whether he gets hurt, whether it's this or that, everybody want to be right about the situation, right? But we don't know what he was offered. We don't know anything because this man hasn't, came out. This is the first time. Okay, you obviously it's the money situation because, like you said, he was just talking to, they were just in discussions about it last week. He's in Florida because you promoting that video. Even if he is here, we don't know if Irsay came. If he came into town, no, leave it alone. Leave it alone. You have one already. We're talking down. Leave it alone.
Not gonna chair right.
If he was in town, he could have family. We don't know why he was in town. Like you understand what I'm saying? Because don't you think everybody else would have been talking about that? It hasn't been on. They didn't talk about it on Get Up. They didn't talk about anything else. It's just right now it's fake news until we find out what's going on. But this is my biggest problem, man.
It's like, what do we believe? You know what I'm
He
saying?
needs to have, and I'm gonna tell you why. I know everybody's like, oh, you don't need an agent, or maybe no, he needs an agent because you got your hands in too many pots.
This dude is straight Carl Thomas right now. He is fully emotional, which is why you should have an agent to help buffer some of that crap.
The reason I'm saying he got his hands in too many pots because listen, if you got a business manager, a business partner with different ventures, you can have somebody business-wise to help you with your negotiations that has experience. Whether maybe it's not an agent, you can get an advisor like. An advisor is an agent any damn way. Like, who Roquan really did? Who he lying to? Because you're paying them like they're the agent. They just probably close friends. But the
thing is, Roquan has also had significant performance that has been consistent along those lines, and he's not in the quarterback position, so it's easier to pay a guy like
that. That's the main thing. It's the fact that he's not a quarterback. That man's been consistent. Unfortunately, the 2 injuries happened, but that man's been super consistent as far as like, look, he's the best quarterback we've had, period. MVP, 2-time Pro Bowler, first team All Pro. He's been our best, period. But you bring this up today, right when John was at the thing, like, okay, it's a business tactic, but it's also like, at this point in time, I'm like, I'm done, man. Like,
I said, there's a word I'm looking for. It starts with a C. Childish. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like
everybody too, it's super petty and it's too emotional. I commend. I don't care what anybody say. I commend Coach Harbaugh for taking the high road, even if he didn't feel that way. But if anything, he's been the most consistent, period, about Lamar. He's never talked about Joe Flacco like this. He's been the most consistent about Lamar, period.
Even when Joe Flacco came out, Harbaugh was like, he ain't ready. The only reason Harbaugh went with Joe Flacco is because Troy Smith got tonsillitis and lost 20 pounds. Kyle Bowl ended up getting an injury to his shoulder against the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, he had no choice but to put in Joe Flacco and was like, I got to stick with him because my job is probably riding on him if I do the QB carousel and things don't work out with Troy. So it looks like I'm stuck with Joe. Joe had a terrible rookie year. If it wasn't for the defense, they wouldn't have been where they went.
Hold on, sir. I'm sorry.
I'm with you, bro. So, like, when it comes to Lamar in this whole situation, I feel like, yeah, this has definitely been mishandled. If he had an agent, this would have been done. I've been yelling about Drew Rosenhaus, anybody from Rock Nation, to come through and represent this guy. What's he do? Go get a gym partner, allegedly, and then go talk to other owners in the league and get feelers out there to see what was real and what wasn't. And then, of course, we don't know if that's true because we don't know if Lamar is saying, hey, he never talked to this dude about this, or if the owners, I mean, legit, they had to get his name from somewhere, unless he was, he had to go knocking on somebody's doorstep for them to get that name and say, hey, this is the guy that's talking to us, or the owners really that corrupt and making this up just to throw dirt on Lamar's name. Are they that strategic in this whole matter? It may be, maybe not. I don't know.
Look, nobody's trying to throw dirt on anything. I love Lamar, but if I'm picking in the top 5, I'm not spending no dough. I'm not spending no dough to bring him to my team.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm seeing here people putting they trying to put Lamar in Washington Commanders outfits, but let's face it, I just looked at the cap for the Washington Commanders. Yeah. They negative 17 million in the hole. 17 million in the hole, folks. They don't have
money. Is really Detroit. They got 26,
but Detroit already said, "Hey, this is our guy." They believe in Jared Goff. The owner signed off on that at the end of the season. Was like, "Hey, this is a guy who's won 8 out of 10 games for us. We believe in this guy because he had a 66 QBR, because he was this fire for us, because he took this organization in a direction that we haven't been in a little while." So they believe in Jared. I think the Lions are out.
This is my thing, and on top of that, it takes 2 to dance, yo. You got it, whether you want to trade or not. You can request a trade, but you can't say you want to trade and nobody wants you. I think Rich Eisen said it best. He's like, this is a desperate, this is just telling me that nobody has really taken the opportunity to look at Lamar, or they don't want him because of the money, not because he's not a dynamic player and an amazing player. It's just that, it's the money.
I'm starting to feel like how I felt about Dennis Rodman back in the day. Dennis was one of the greatest rebounders in NBA history. I loved what he did on the court. I loved the player he was.
Right.
The person was a little annoying. Just a little bit. Just a little bit annoying. I'm starting to feel that way about Lamar because he can't control his emotions on Twitter. He's waiting for somebody else to call out a false fact before he fires back on Twitter instead of just letting it go, letting it ride. Let these people say what they're going to say on Twitter. But he ready to pop off to help defend himself in this whole negotiations when the only person he should be worried about is what Eric DaCosta is putting across the table for him, or those other owners are putting across the table for him.
And this is the thing that is hard when you're talking to a player. This is my problem. I don't know what his stance is, because from how everyone's talking that knows him, he's very, and I understand it. You on your lawns about this is what it needs, the principle of this. But if you're on that, when you're negotiating a contract, you got to give and take. It's never going to be just your way. So is he that caught up that he needs that? It has to be that way? Because if it has to be this way, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for you to get that way with any team that you go to.
Oh boy, this dude said Jared Goff, man, I'll trade his butt for 3-piece from Southern Classic, Jermaine. So for those of y'all in front of the South, that's a chicken place. That's amazing. So that's my brother talking right there. Big Reg guy, you gonna come in here firing shots? Oops, sorry, not that one.
Yeah.
Dude said, boy, I just walked in on the purple shades. Here's the other side. So of course we are frustrated because of the way that this negotiation has been handled. Does Lamar deserve to be paid? Yes. He does. Big Reg, we not rocking it with purple shades. We've always looked at these things from an objective side, trying to look at both sides of the situation. Yes, he is fighting against the machine. He's fighting against a monster organization, trying to get the best deal that he believes that he deserves, whatever. And he's trying his best to maneuver these tactics. It's just not going as well as he would have planned. Because right now, Eric DeCosta's sitting here looking at this tweet, and it's like, well, my position doesn't change. It wasn't a tactic that he didn't already know about. Eric already knew about it. The media, we already knew about it because of the type of tag that was already there. This wasn't anything new in this situation. My shades are just fine because of the fact I see a guy that wants to get paid. He just needs to figure out the best way to go about it. And this ain't it.
There's two things that's working against Lamar right now, Reg, and everybody else. Two things. One is the fact that there's a lot of good quarterbacks coming out. So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen before the draft. I mean, after the draft. And who knows how much money is going to be spent in free agency. The second reason, all those picks that was given, and I'm going to blame this on Russell Wilson. All them picks that was given up for Russell, nobody want to do that again. That's why the Jets and Green Bay is trying to come to a conclusion, because nobody want to give up all the picks again, and then you didn't get nothing out of it. Like they excuse my language, the Denver's in draft hell right now. They trying to get everything back.
Facts.
Then you lose more draft picks because you want to bring in Sean Payton. Yeah. They've been losing all types of draft picks just to win. Mm-hmm. So that's where he's messed up at. I want him to get paid. I just want it to be over. I'm done with it because it shouldn't have taken this long. That's
why I said this title here ad nauseum, because this is what we continually do. We talk about this whole situation or whatever. When it comes to owners, talking about your topic here, it's kind of frustrating, or excuse me, the way that business is done. Usually when it comes to draft picks and cap, usually unload a player to a team because for lower picks, because that team knows that you want to get rid of some of that cap money. And so they will pay lower picks to go ahead and pick that player up. What the Ravens and what Lamar and what other teams are seeing in this situation is that they're going to have to unload picks and pick up a very high cap number. It's not making sense for the organization right now.
There ain't gonna be 2 picks. You ain't gonna get Lamar for no 2 first rounders. That's not the no.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
to answer Lisa's question, do I blame Steve Bisciotti right now? I blame the owners. I blame more Cleveland than anybody, because they went against the grain. And one of the I forgot who I was. I don't think just blaming the owners is at this point in time, or blaming just Steve alone is the reason. You still gotta build the whole team. And I understand that he don't want to give they do every player in the NFL deserves fully guaranteed. This is the hardest sport in the world.
Right? But it's like, how do you do that? How do you change that model from what the NFL currently is, which is owner ran, to the NBA?
Right, you can't. But this is the only thing. This is something that was said, that Shannon Sharp said, which makes sense. He said the difference between us that's playing in the NFL opposed to other sports, he said, when I played, it's more about you. It's always been about the players have never band together, or that position has never been, other than the quarterbacks back in the 90s when they did that. No one's ever band together to make sure this person gets paid, this person gets paid. As far as when it came down to baseball or basketball, they've done that. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot about everybody wants to be selfish in some form of fashion.
I think this is the topic for the next CBA. Yeah. The next CBA, yes, we're going to probably see some things turn over big time. This last time when they were negotiating, you could see a split between the younger generation and the older generation, because younger generation was like, hey, just give us free weed and we're in. We'll sign the dang thing. Older generation is like, no, you got to hold out for more. There's more benefits. There's more to life than just smoking weed and not popping positive on a test.
Hold on. Let me just, and Reg, you still talking about just the owners, but you got to talk about the NFLPA as well, because they using Lamar as a pawn. Like they want this to happen. Smith has done nothing since he's been there. And I know that for a fact. He's done nothing, because one of my good friends, he's family. He's a former NFL player. Talking about Kareem McKenzie that played for the Giants. He's told me he's done nothing. He's like, this dude has done nothing. Lamar should not be listening to him. And he's told me himself. We talked about this last week. Lamar should not be listening to the NFLPA at all.
Yeah, DeMaurice Smith
He
is
has done
definitely
nothing.
he got a screw
This
loose,
is the
man.
first time they get an opportunity to take it. They taking the time to take advantage of the situation. And Lamar, that's when I felt like when I first said something to you, I was like, yo, I feel bad because he's stuck in the middle. It's not that we gotta remember, it's not like EDC ain't trying to make him the highest paid. It's not like it's just the way that he's trying to make him the highest paid. Now, if it's about how the money's situated, then we can talk about that. But again, I don't really like talking about nobody though. I just want to get it done.
Yeah, I feel like if Harbaugh can sit there through all the scrutiny and not even mention a number, I think us as fans can sit here and just be like, you know what, screw this dude as far as his money. Let him go work out whatever. We looking forward to him getting back on the field. That's kind of where we want to be.
Right.
And it is kind of frustrating, this whole negotiation, because now it's getting public and it's starting to get nasty. They signed an agreement saying that they would not go public with this stuff, and then Lamar comes out and actually puts the information out there as far as the March 2nd, and basically saying a farewell on his Twitter. Although I still feel like this is just, y'all gonna probably think I'm wrong for this, but I feel like this is a kid throwing a tantrum and trying to say, look at me, when honestly it's just he's gonna stick around. He ain't going nowhere. It's just simply a tactic to let other teams know that I might be serious about leaving, even though he said I want to trade.
But this is the point when it comes down to it. Either way, whether he did have Hobbs sweating. Hobbs took the high road because that was.
It did. It was like, usually they have.
He wasn't prepared. It was like the chimes went off ASAP. Like he was getting ready to get a question. They was like, hold up.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, so the thing about, I've been taking a media relations class, and they actually had them do like previews before presses of questions that could come up.
Mm-hmm.
And this was one that wasn't in the preparation. Like I said, it was strategically planned, and it definitely threw Harbaugh off. So kudos to Harbaugh for handling business today.
But again, when it comes down to it, if he wants to be traded, even if he said that on the second, maybe remember they did interview Anthony Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think the Ravens interview Anthony Richardson, and this is before the combine actually happened, this is on the second. You think they didn't talk to the other GMs? I'm sure he talked to the other GMs if he wants to get traded. I'm sure he talked to them. I'm sure it's up in the air. But this comes down to this point. If you're your own agent, everybody put their hand up. I just want to say this. If you're your own agent, don't you make the calls? Because you can only make the call or the agent can make the calls. You got to make the calls. Right?
I don't know. I guess your gymnast can go ahead and make calls now, apparently.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't want to make the calls, this is what you got to do, because nobody wants to. Obviously, nobody wants to deal. It's very hard. It's not that many teams, not that many players, that don't have their own agent. It's a very difficult thing to do. But there's never been no one that's never had their own agent at the quarterback position dealing with that type of money.
Like, let's see what Red said here. Red says, come on now, we all know it was the Ravens leaking the numbers that came out before. Why, when they do stuff, it's okay, but LJ says he thinks it's wrong? First of all, LJ is the one who actually told Stephen A. Smith or someone in LJ's camp about the daggone guarantee money, and so Stephen A. Smith's the one over here leaking it all over TV. Those numbers were leaked by Lamar Jackson, not necessarily.
Yeah, though. Why are we still on last year?
Yeah, and it's like that was old stuff.
This was last year before the season started. I'm not blaming him for anything.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that the tactic is not working. Like, his job right now, Lamar's job is, if he's playing his own agent, his job is to reach out to all these teams to see if they want him. If you're gonna sit there and wait for people to call you, you're not gonna get it. His job is to call them to see if they want to get the money he wants.
And then here's the other thing. So he wants to say that the boss is spreading rumors. And this is what I told y'all before that any of this came out. I said these NFL beat writers, they have been pressured by their managers to push out a story. Whether it's false or true, they are trying to get Lamar to come out and say whether it's false or true. So they'll put out a false narrative or whatever to see if they will dispute it, because all they can say is the word sources, and then they will say, and then Lamar can actually come back and dispute it. I said that, when did I say that? I said that about 6, 7 shows ago that they were going to do this. And now y'all trying to say it's the Ravens organization. No, it's these beat writers and freaking NFL analysts that are putting out the false narratives that Lamar has come out and combat. It's not the organization. I'm not saying the organization is perfect, but I am saying that when it comes to Lamar right now, it's Lamar versus the media. He is in the room negotiating, or at least on the phone negotiating with DaCosta. Those talks haven't shut down because obviously last week they still going on.
Mm.
His battle right now is with the media, which is one that, I'll be honest, he needs to stop. He needs to just get an agent and then head into the room with DaCosta.
What form of entertainment you're in, you're never going to win with the media. That's why they say good press or bad press is, whether the press is good or bad, it's always good at the end of the day, because the fact is they talking about you. But his main focus needs to be on him playing his role as the agent. That's all I'm saying. Like, somebody in this corner needs to say, okay, well, you the agent, you got to reach out to these teams. You cannot sit there and wait for them to reach out to you.
Yeah.
Because
you can't send your Gardner, you can't send your Baker, your line guy, whatever.
Yeah,
an agent.
And that could be fake news too, but we don't know. But
we don't know.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know. But the point being is that at the end of the day, you have to play. If you don't want an agent and you want this deal, you gotta do what you gotta do. You can't have your hands. That's what I'm saying. Like, you got your hands in here. We're gonna promote this travel piece or whatever workout thing. And then we're gonna be over here doing this. Mm-hmm. You helping out your man, but you gotta. How about let's get this done, because this is what's gonna change my life. This money right here. Let me call. Hello, Atlanta. Y'all want me open? Hello, okay. Hello, whoever I gotta call. Mm-hmm. I need to be on the phone calling. This is Lamar Jackson. They're only allowed to speak to the player or the agent.
Now, I know why he did that. It's because he just feels like all that information is going to get leaked by somebody in the Players Association. But at the same time, you still got to step to the table and play by the rules that are set in front of you.
Yeah, at this time, it's just about, like, you got to say, okay, goodbye, blah blah blah. But if you want to be traded, it takes two for you to be traded, because you know what you're about to do. And I'm really afraid that this may happen to him. You're gonna mess around and you're gonna lose out on all your dough.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a point to where, let's just say he goes to nuclear options. Let's say we can't get him to sign the tag before the draft, and also can't get him, a deal before the draft. The draft ends. He's in a worse situation right now, or worse. He's in an even worse situation because Baltimore's not. They want ultimate capital for this guy, so they're gonna want big time compensation because of the fact that they lost out on a draft pick this year. And then, okay, let's just say he doesn't sign after June or July 17th deadline to a long term extension, and then he decides to sit out. Then we got to look at all these other different options. And then I think Baltimore by then will just say, you know what, we'll take a bridge quarterback and close the door on the situation.
That's a Le'Veon Bell move. Look how much money Le'Veon did lose out on. I mean, he got a lot from the Jets, but he lost a year, and he ain't been the same ever. He was never the same after that once he moved to the Jets. Mm-hmm. So my prayer is that he doesn't.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad situation when he's not. I think they just got to really. He really got to get an agent.
Because he said he's not dealing with the NFLPA anymore. So you got to the point where you don't want to deal with them. You're not talking to them. They try to use you for what they could use you for.
Yeah. So all right, let's see. Let's pay a couple bills here. Lisa says, how reliable are these beat writers? Well, I mean, you got people that are on. I think it's a scale. You have people like Jeff Zrebiec is probably one of the best out there. He's not going to spit it before it's factual, before he gets all the facts, and then he'll spit something that's true. Then you got Jason Lock-in-4 that's down in the basement, that's full online. Adam Schefter and the rest of them cats is in between. So just keep that in mind when you see, Mike Florio. When you see all these other cats sit here and try to report something, just know that they're not going to be as factual as your Jeff Cerebrick. And then Jamison Hensley has even been false on a couple of those narratives. And actually, because of his reporting, we may have lost Judon. I feel like that was part of the reason Judon was gone because of the media battle. And like when the media gets involved, decisions get made based off of emotion with our players as well.
Yeah, plus that check was looking real good in New England.
Yeah, that was a good check. And I mean, let's be honest. I put it out there. I said, look,
they had some dough at that time. They had a lot of money that they could give out. They was like, we need a pass rusher. Let's get him.
Yeah, I mean, and let's just stop with the whole Steve Bisciotti hate. Steve is just sitting back. They think that Steve Bisciotti is like full on in the midst of these negotiations. Like that's what Eric DeCosta's doing. Steve sitting back smoking a cigar. He chilling. He knows that there's going to be money that has to be paid out year by year by year as far as in order to meet the Cap's needs. He is prepared for whatever is down the road because he knows it's going to have to be paid out one way or another. Eric DeCosta is the one that has to manage those funds in the right way. Now, he's the one that's going to the table with Lamar. I think y'all keep thinking that Bisciotti is like the mastermind, or no, he's just one owner of 32 owners who all agree, maybe behind closed doors, I don't know, collusion, whatever, that they thought the price for Deshaun Watson was a standalone contract and that it was stupid. That's a fair statement. Yeah, is it collusion? Probably if somebody states it out and then everybody else agrees with it. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. All I know is that these guys said, hey, one person was like, that was a dumb deal. The other was like, yeah. And everybody others was like, yeah. It was dumb.
Only thing I know is that I was listening to a report, and this guy that's close to the situation, he said that Lamar and EDC would have a talk, and the negotiations would be good, and they were supposed to come. He's like, all right, Lamar would walk out of there happy, good, ready to sign, and he would take it to the NFLPA, and he'd come back and he'd be pissed off. Like, so I don't know what they're saying. I don't know how. Like, again, the dude Smith I think that's held us up for the past 2 years, because I think we know that the NFLPA has been there for the past 2 years trying to help him negotiate the situation.
Mm-hmm. They deep in the thick of it, man. It's just it don't make no sense for them to have that much say so in this man's deal.
So now that he said that, Lamar said he's no longer dealing with the NFLPA on this. Hopefully he can get something done, because
I think if he actually turned off his Twitter and his Instagram and turned off the phone from NFLPA, this could get done easy. This could be easily done if he gets, because then the emotion is taken out of it, and then the third party that's in his ear saying go after this, and this, it'll be out of there.
Yeah. If even if he's waiting for the Jalen, especially if the Jalen Hurts situation, if Jalen gets paid before Lamar, which I can see it happening, and he don't get fully guaranteed, which I don't see him getting, I think that it was already something said that he's probably gonna get 190 guaranteed. As far as I don't know what the overall deal is gonna be, but as far as fully guaranteed money, if he gets 190, that just tells you, and again, I don't like counting nobody's money. That just tells you that obviously Watson is an outlier, and none of the owners are going to go for it anymore.
Yeah, there was plenty of people who got paid after that. So I think like I said, the only reason that Lamar is even the linchpin in this whole situation because the NFLPA wanted to use Lamar as the poster child to push contracts across the entire league of guaranteed money. And they botched that whole thing. And so, of course, all it is just a mess between DeCosta and the Ravens and Lamar now.
And people try to compare. Well, I mean, Deshaun is not the first one to get a fully guaranteed deal. Obviously, it's Kirk Cousins, but y'all got to look at when it comes to Kirk. Look how short the deals are. That's one. And look what he's never been on the list as the highest paid quarterback.
Here's a interesting comment here. He said, everybody out here trying to make Lamar look like he Ja Morant. What's your thoughts there?
Chill, son.
What are your thoughts there?
Moran is an idiot. He shouldn't even be in the league right now.
You know what I mean? I think there's a significant difference between the two. I do think there's a significant difference between the two. However, there are some things. There's
no connection. Don't do that. Don't do that.
All right. I'm gonna chill tonight.
Moran is an idiot.
All right. So let's just say, for some reason, Lamar decides it's time to go. And there's a way out, and there's picks, and there's compensation, and there's money, and all this other stuff. Let's say Lamar is no longer in Baltimore. Let's take this down, and I'll go get me a Tyler Huntley or something like. No, we'll get whatever. I'll get something or whatever. But anyway, let's talk about the replacements. Let's just say we need that bridge this year or that draft pick. Let's talk about a couple of the options. First, we're going to stick around with what's in the house already. Tyler Huntley, folks. This dude only won 3 games as a starter. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns and 3 picks in 2022, 67% completion rate, 658 yards. He had 1,081 yards in 2021. We thought, some people were speaking crazy about him in 2021 for the performance against Green Bay and against Cleveland. This dude has talent. It's just he's got to be able to put it all together to finish games. And we saw what happened in the playoffs this past season with the botched tush push or whatever that turned into the fumble 6 or whatever. So, Tyler Huntley, what do you think? When to sleep, he said he's sleeping on Tyler. He going to stay asleep on Tyler Huntley.
Who's next?
He said, who's next? Okay. So, when it comes to Tyler Huntley, I think he can put it together with Todd Monken. If Todd Monken can take a guy who was undersized and not necessarily a wanted talent, he can take this guy and do something decent with him. Let's see what you guys said here.
G funny, yo. You damn right I'm crying in the car.
He said, Lamar leaves, Jermaine, you gonna cry in the car. Yes, I'm gonna cry in the car. I'm gonna cry. But I'm gonna get over it, folks. I'm gonna get over it. Because, like I said, this ain't just about Lamar. I'm a Ravens fan first before I'm a Lamar fan. All right, so let's keep rolling. So, Brooks says, I'm definitely going to cry in the car, shower bed, etc. Delicious says, hard pass on Tyler. And Big Red says, nah, Tyler Huntley ain't getting it. So, everybody is out on Snoop. All right, here we go. The next one. We ready for this next one? All right. Next is Carson Wentz. All right. So we're talking about available free agents, something that we don't have to trade for, a bridge quarterback that could come in and manage an offense, have a decent offense coordinator to put a system that they can adjust to, and it has that experience. So this guy is 30 years old. He's played in 8 games in 2022. He had 11 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, QBR of 32 back then. But he had a 62.3% completion percentage. He was the Comeback Player of the Year award in 2019. You know how many different magazines those come from. So I don't know if it was the main Comeback Player of the Year award, but he was nominated as one of those Comeback Player of the Year awards in 2019. And he threw 27 touchdowns in that year that he had the Comeback Player of the Year award. So Carson Wentz would be an okay option. And people be probably throwing furniture, man, had some horrible things to say or whatever. Eagles fans will probably come over and call everybody up, tell us all the dirt on this dude. But that's an option that is out there. What do you think on Carson Wentz?
Check.
Check, please. All right, let's see what y'all think on Carson over here. My brother is like, real talk, who the heck is Tyler Huntley? Look, hey, just type in Snoop and Snoop Dogg or something like that, and you'll see the Pro Bowl picture. It's the guy standing next to Snoop. If you Google that. Delicious says no on Wentz. Reg just said, I'm all set. I'm all set on wheelchair Wentz. He says that's a no. Brooks says, if Lamar leaves, we deserve Wentz. Woof. Oh, that's hurtful. She's like, wait, that's what we deserve. That we don't deserve that. We didn't do this. We didn't do this. This is Lamar's decision. Y'all remember that. This is Lamar's decision, and it's the Ravens' decision because they disconnected. I'm saying it's fault on both parts. They couldn't come to terms with a reasonable decision, a reasonable deal, a reasonable offer. Lamar also had too many people in his ear, and so emotion has also creeped in and caused a decision. So this is where the disconnect is between the two. GK says, heck no on Carson Wentz. He's a poison. That is somebody who used to be a fan of the NFC East as far as the Cowboys, so he knows a little bit about that East. Next is Kendall says, who's Wentz going to throw to? The offense is built to be okay for him. Well, I mean, if we get healthy options, of course, and of course we go into the draft. I think they're going wide receiver first round. Like that's just my opinion. Let's just say we get Lamar, or let's just say we get that bridge quarterback. We going first round wide receiver. Let's see. And then Nana is here. She's saying hello.
What's up?
Oh, what's good?
Who asked? Kendall. It's Hooker from Tennessee.
What'd you say? You saw something from him? What'd you say?
He asked me. He asked who's the quarterback for Tennessee.
Oh yeah. He's well, I'll get to him in just a second too. I got some stats and stuff on him. All right.
He should, if he didn't get hurt, he'd probably be a top 3 quarterback, to be honest with you.
So we did this. A big part of this fan base begged for him. We begged for Carson Wentz?
Big fool.
That's what Brooks saying. Brooks saying we begged for Carson Wentz. So Carson Wentz has the experience at 30. I mean, Lisa, yeah, you're right. He does have the experience. We just need him to be able to stay on the field.
Got experienced a lot of things, Lisa.
Yeah, he experienced some injuries and stuff like that. But there was a time when there was a point where he was actually considered before his ACL injury, the season of his ACL injury. Yeah. They were looking at him as a league MVP.
He was MVP,
and they just want to be able to see him back in that same light. We're looking at a Rose situation for the NFL, though.
I don't think it's physical for him. I think it's all mental. Like, I think about this for a minute. You're the number 1 quarterback. Your team goes all the way to the Super Bowl. Partially, a big portion is because before you got injured, they were, I believe, 12-2.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and Nick just had to play those last 2 games, and then they won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles, and they put a statue. Now, mind you, tell me what that does to your psyche. Now, mind you, you was the starting quarterback. You happy they won because obviously you're on the team, and you being a team, you wish they would have won under you.
Yeah.
But I knew right then and there, it was, and he's an MVP, so automatically it just it was too much. So what they should, instead of him starting the season again, and then Nick Foles coming in and helping them win again in the playoffs, even though they lost to the Saints afterwards, they could have won that game. How about if you're going to put a statue of a man outside, how about you just trade Carson now before it gets bad? Like,
yeah,
they really did a number on him mentally. So I think that really did him wrong.
Mm-hmm. Okay, they put BDN on the statue. Let's see. The Big Red says, listen, just call Kyle Bola and Terrell Owens. Those you guys right there. Bishotti loves those guys.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to move on to the next option. Let's see here. So the next option would be, y'all probably like this one. Y'all familiar with the name. He's been in Baltimore a little bit. Joe Flacco. Joseph Vincent Flacco. 37 years old. Huh?
He's going to come back for one more ride.
I mean, a couple of Ravens fans would probably be pumped up. Yes, bring back Joe. Bring back Joe. 37 years old. He had 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in 2022. The Jets seem to love this guy. He threw for 1,051 yards in 5 games for the Jets in 2022. He has some talent left. It just seems like every time he throws a short pass, his short and intermediate passes, they just have really bad results. So that is Joe Flacco. We know the history of Joe. We didn't see us getting it done with him because Joe has those tendencies of throwing the rock, the launching the deep ball down to the 30-yard line, taking 4 sacks, and then having the greatest kicker of all time come in and seal the deal. Will that work for us still? I don't know. Does he still have the arm? Oh yeah. I mean, he still got the arm,
He
but
does.
it's just the intermediate and short passing accuracy is where Joe's problem has been. All right,
Other news: Calais Campbell is going to visit the Jets tomorrow.
who's going to visit the Jets?
Calais.
Oh, yeah. I
Calais
mean, he's also in the Players Association. He's the VP, so that could also be a little bit of a problem with the negotiations with Lamar too. Lamar is sitting here listening to a friend who's also
Well,
has
I don't.
military interest.
Yeah,
Huh?
I don't think Calais. If it was up to Calais, I think he would have got the deal. I don't think Calais is even
I think
involved.
I think he at least wanted. He had to be like a mediator in those meetings between Lamar and between DeMaurice Smith. Sitting there trying to see Lamar's perspective, but
No,
also trying to see what their ultimate goal was for the league.
no, it wasn't Calais at all. It was somebody else that works for Smith. I don't know the dude's name, but it's somebody that's in the office.
Okay.
Shirt and tie dude.
All right. Let's see. Lisa says no to Joe. He'd be too interception happy for me. Nana says no. Delicious says no. Love Joe, but no. And it said Kendall said that might be worse than Wentz.
That would be worse than Wentz.
Oh my gosh. And then let's see what Brooke says. Said Flacco gonna make it interesting though. I'll make sure to have my popcorn ready. Okay. Mm. It'd be interesting, as long as it don't turn into a whole split again. Said Matt says, hey, I said Nana says, heck no. Lisa says, hey lady. Okay, she's saying hello. But yeah, so that is the Joe Flacco option. The next option, y'all probably gonna, I don't know. I mean, he came out the same year as Joe, and
You're giving us a lot of bad options, brother.
look, he just
Horrible options. What you about to say, Matt Ryan?
yeah, yeah.
Check, please. I'm gonna check.
So check, please. I mean,
Check.
hear me out though.
No, I mean, check, please.
Matty Ice, man, Matty Ice. 37 years old. The coach didn't necessarily believe in him, then they did believe in him. It was kind of weird. He goes out and throws 3,057 yards, 14 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. But he started only 12 games. He had a 67% completion rate. 67%. But he was also 4-7 and 1. Okay, so he doesn't win games, but he completes passes. I don't know. I say, hopefully the Ravens don't look in that direction. I'm with you. Definitely check, please, on Matt Ryan.
Please.
All right, here's another one. Like I said, these options are really they're tough, man. I'm like looking at the free agents, and I'm like, all right.
Stop with the agents. Stop with the agents. That's why they free. They're free for a reason.
Yeah, they free. They definitely free.
They free.
But the thing is like right now we would have to have just a bridge quarterback. It doesn't have to be the prettiest thing in the world. Just has to work with our phenomenal defense and win a couple ball games or actually lose a few to get us in top position or a good position to receive that future signal caller if Lamar is gone. Just saying.
He laughed. He's like, "Yep, Cam, yep." Yeah,
Yep.
you know how I'm feeling. I'm just listening to
Yeah.
this foolery right here. I can't listen no more. He driving me crazy, y'all.
Kendall saying next you gonna offer us Blake Bortles.
Yeah. I don't know what Couch got these ideas for the day.
Delicious said Matty Ice. He said Matt Ryan. No. GK is like Matt Ryan, Jermaine. What you want me to do, man? I'm sitting here like we sitting in a situation where we are not comfortable right now. We know Lamar knows what's out there. He's like, look, y'all gonna sign. You gonna sign me, Matt Ryan, or you gonna sign me? And of course, Costa has to consider what is out there, what is in a trade situation, what is currently in the free agency, and then of course also the option of paying Lamar. But it's out there. He has to consider at least some of this stuff. Brooke says she's gonna suit up herself.
I'll take Brooke.
I know she has clock management problems, so you might be getting all those delayed game penalties. Just saying. Oh, by the way, we also need to clear up another rumor. There was a rumor the other night that you and Brooke were wherever y'all were there together and not on the show. That was what the rumor was.
Oh, wait for me to get to her. I'm in Jersey. She in North Carolina.
Yeah, but she was in the air, flying. I knew she was gonna pull up on the castle. I just thought she might, they thought she might take a little stop in Jersey.
Oh, okay.
All right. So that is here's one. I don't know if I saw the James. I don't think is James a free agent. I don't think James is free.
No, 1 year deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he's with the Saints. So
1 year deal with the Saints.
yeah. Plus, I mean, do we want to throw 35, 36 interceptions and see him hop on the podium and be like, "I'm balling"?
No, I think Todd Monken said like, "Nah, I had enough of him in Tampa. Let's not do that."
Yeah, you don't want no more of that. All right. So then,
he said take Cam Newton and draft Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson is going to be going in the top 10, guaranteed, bro.
Cam Newton. That's an option I did not put on my list. I don't know why he wasn't sitting on a free agent.
You can get Cam Newton, but I guarantee Anthony ain't going to be there.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you what.
Yeah, Cam will be a decent bridge quarterback, right?
He showed out in the combine. He only started 1 year, but you're gonna get a bridge quarterback, and he's worth somebody getting him in the top 10, and they're gonna let him sit for a year.
Oh, AR? Yeah.
He's gonna get out the top 10.
Now if they happen to let's just say because Irsay, the Colts may be one of those situations. They have the cap space. I think they're sitting at 21 mil above the cap right now. So if they decide to move a couple things around to make it room for Lamar, it's easy, or they can. I wouldn't say easy. It's doable. It's doable. That's just pulling out the credit card, pulling out the credit card, and giving some of those players that money up front, and then pushing their contracts a little bit further down the road.
They're gonna be back to where they started.
What's up?
That's what I'm saying. Like Indianapolis, they still got to build. They ain't got a good team. They got some pieces.
But Lamar will get his money. You know that's what it is. These players, they want their money, and then they like, okay, well, how come I didn't win a championship? Oh, because of the fact you wanted the money and you went to the Jets. Come on.
That's true.
All right, so let's keep rolling. The next option. Oh, G says Case Keenum. Yeah, check please.
He already signed a deal with somebody, but check please.
Yes. All right, so this one y'all probably gonna hate even more than Matt Ryan. We've seen him here. The Bengals love this guy, Josh Johnson. They love playing against him. So when it comes to Josh is 36 years old. He's got the experience. Now here's some numbers that I'm gonna put together. Y'all gonna be like, what? Okay, the last time he played in Baltimore, and I know this is playing catch up, but this is a guy who in our offense threw 304 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception, 70% completion rating, a QBR of 98.3 with the Baltimore Ravens. Imagine Monken, he left. Dang, he just.
My answer to that. Let's go.
Oh,
y'all be leaving the room, yo. Y'all be leaving the room. Leaving the room. I'm leaving the room. I will not be seen. The revolution will not be televised. I will not be seen doing this foolery. Will not be seen.
Oh my God. It's impossible. Okay. Let's see. Josh Johnson about to be in the USFL. I can see that. Brooks says, listen, the Ravens need to the Ravens need to just bake Lamar some cookies and apologize for the huge contract.
Well, maybe if you cook for him, Brooke, you would have had a deal by now.
Yep. Should have pulled up with the cookies instead of the Uzi. Dang. Bring him some Wawas. That's what you do. Bring him some Wawas or go get him some you ate yet seafood or soul food. IBY. IBY? What does that mean? What that mean? Is that a term you know? I don't know what IBY mean.
I don't know.
Okay.
You lost me on that one.
Okay. Pay the bills. What's good, man? Says every dang chance, fellas. Okay. And then GK says, Jermaine, get your mustache, buddy. Why you taking the mustache, bro? Oh, ET face. I mean, excuse me. You got me started here. All right.
Coach got the porno stash.
Definitely unemployed in there. Okay. Anyway, next, Gardner Minshew. No. Uncle Rico, I don't think so. Let's see. Brooke Baby agreed. Lacey DaCosta does the team's cookie baking. Okay. So we'll go through a couple more comments and then we'll jump into the next option. So I'll be watching XFL games for life. If I don't see how Brett Huntley was even on our roster. You don't see how Brett Huntley was even on our roster.
Why he's in XFL? Is he?
Probably. Oh, I guess he's saying for the life of me, he doesn't see how Brett Hundley was on an NFL roster because he was so bad in XFL. I guess.
Oh, was he? I didn't know he was in the XFL.
Yeah, I ain't been watching. I'll
I
be honest with
watched one game tonight.
you. Yeah.
The Commanders, DC Commanders, is that what it is?
I don't even know. Yeah,
I don't know, but they winning again. They better than the Washington Commanders.
my brother, he's a little hot on that one. All right, so the next option. All right, so I constantly call this person out of name because I'm just disrespectful. I call him Tamisha. He's sitting at home right now playing with the cat and
Man alone.
playing with the daughter's cat because he's babysitting. You know, he said he was gonna stay at home and stay retired, but this is an option whether we like it or not. This guy is an option. We could call him out of retirement and get maybe.
Come here.
You don't want to be here. You don't want to be here for this. Look, just hear me out. Hear me out. Even in a bad year,
Come here.
Even in a bad year, Tom Brady threw for 4,694 yards. Now, when you say bad year, it was a meh year for Tom Brady. He still threw 25 touchdowns.
Offended.
25 touchdowns. Yes, I know it would tick Baltimore all the way out, especially getting rid of the guy we're just like, all right, you know, we love some Lamar and we really can't stand Tom Brady. But if we're just looking to have something different as a bridge quarterback, give Tom Brady one last look, but then he finishes as a Raven. It just feels wrong. It definitely feels wrong. But at the same time, this guy's Meh year is better statistically than Lamar's MVP year when it comes
to get Jermaine the slaps.
Huh?
Everybody get Jermaine the slaps, please.
Lord, don't start the slaps. I'll tie you a slap right here. Brooke says she gone. She's offended. For 1 year, I would take TB, but he's not coming out. Kendall says, Jermaine, could you even cheer for the Ravens with him being the quarterback? It would be very tough. It would be extremely tough to play or to watch the Ravens play with Brady in uniform. In fact, it would actually make me throw up. I'll be honest. It is not. If I see Brady in Baltimore, I'm calling the cops.
Well, yeah, please give him the slaps because I can't do the slaps.
Okay, so here we go. We are off the whole Tom Brady deal. Let's move on to another option.
Big Reg gave you all the slaps in the world.
Teddy B. Hold on. Let's go back to these here. All right, I'll take my slaps. I had to bring it up though. It's an option. It's just this. It's someone sitting out there that could probably potentially do something well for the Ravens. That's all I'm saying. Next is let's pay some bills here. Oh, we got a couple slaps. He says, can't hate on Tom. Or can't just keep the air pump and the moist needle away from him in football. Okay, yeah, he does have the tendency to cheat. Yes. All right. So delicious and slap. Come on, you just slap. Come on, why you slap me, bro? Everybody slapping. What the heck? Oh my God. Pay Bill says I would rather run the Wildcats.
I'm waiting.
So you said Tom Brady, and I chose violence. You chose violence today. A few of y'all did. Like I said, I'm just putting options out there. Don't shoot the messenger. These are things that are legit options that they could be looking at.
You the messenger. You the messenger and the sender.
I am the messenger, man. Y'all can't be kicking me through the pit like it's 300 or something. You all ain't Leonidas.
You the messenger and the writer with that one. All types of slaps you deserve.
There we go. Let's see what Brooke says. She says, I will scream go Wentz all dang day before Tom Brady. Okay. Let's see. And then Jay Will fan. Hey, I don't think I recognize you on here. Thanks for coming through. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. You know, if we got 9 people in the room, let me at least get 9 likes on the video.
Hold on, pause. Yo, y'all ever notice why Jermaine sound like a disc jockey when he starts saying, slap that bell when you go?
Oh, y'all owe me a like for that, man. Y'all see me gave me the slaps. And you hit the slaps, you definitely got to hit the like button. All right. So anyway, Jay Will, yeah, it's a good time, man. Thanks for coming through. He says Lamar to the Detroit Lions, and the Lions win the NFC. The NFC weak right now. I'm just going to call it what it is. They weak. They weak. All the strength quarterbacks is in the AFC right now.
I think
Lamar goes over there.
Goff made it real when once you beat the King in his castle. Detroit, the team to beat next year, bro. In the NFC North. Once you beat the King in his castle,
but the Bears are beefing up. The Bears looking good. They put themselves in the best position.
But it's gonna be them in Detroit. That's a definite.
That's where I'm like, why is because we're looking at people that want trades, right? So let's just say Lamar does stay, right?
Mm.
If we're sitting here trying to build and get Lamar the weapons that he needs, and you're looking at the NFC North, and you see the Minnesota Vikings, who know they are third in the division, probably fourth in the division if Love shows up. But you got one of the best wide receivers in the league sitting here drowning on a bad team.
Mm.
Why not make that play
for Minnesota?
For Jefferson?
Because Minnesota, they didn't have a problem scoring points last year. They had a problem stopping folks.
But I mean, if I was Jefferson, I'm sitting here like, hey, this is our problem right here. And we're not winning games because of this. Don't I want to put myself in a better position overall to win games?
They really say that because Kirk Cousins is he's a Pro Bowler again.
Yeah, but I mean, if you got a bad defense, like Justin Herbert. Herbert said, what if you Keenan Allen? Allen wants a chance at the ring, right? Hey, he ain't gonna get it over there with the Chargers.
Minnesota's gonna be good again next year. Defense is trash.
The defense is trash. So like if the defense is trash, and I know that the team is not working to build on this defense.
No, they are.
They
just that's why they hired Flores to be the defensive coordinator. I'm sure they're gonna bring in more pieces. Or as far as defensively, they brought in some, but they're not running the scheme the proper way. Then you got that offense. That offense, even with Jefferson, I'm sure they're going to draft another receiver. Mm-hmm. They're going to be fine.
I mean, even if it's not us, let's just say Jefferson sees Kansas City right now. Kansas City, they may be looking for a wide receiver.
Hold on, sorry. You saying why don't they trade Jefferson?
Yeah, I'm saying like, hey, trade Jefferson. So like, if I'm Jefferson and I see an opportunity to play with Pat Mahomes, let's just say
he ain't going nowhere. He don't want to.
I see an opportunity to play with Pat Mahomes. I'd be like, hey, look, I'm looking to get a trade to a team that actually can win a Super Bowl.
You know why?
Being on this team that's still rebuilding the defense, it may take him a couple of years. By that time, my contract is out.
He ain't thinking about that because one, he right at home. They love him. Two, they paying him whatever he want. He got no problem. Right now, he's the number one receiver in the league. He had 2 back-to-back seasons that he just been dominant. Well, he's been dominant since his rookie year, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
They had no problem paying that man. I think they already paid him, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't they pay him?
He paid. Like, it would cost a lot of negative cap to trade him out, but I'm just saying that, like, yeah. So he ain't going nowhere. Anyway, back to Teddy. So Teddy Bridgewater.
No.
You gotta hear me out. Hear me out. All right, so he's 30 years old. Just got a 62% completion percentage as far as 2022. He threw 4 touchdowns, but he also had 4 picks. And then in 2021, this was I think he was in Denver. He threw for 3,052 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Denver just didn't have patience. I'll be honest. If they'd had some patience, they could have put that defense that they have right now with him and won a few more games versus trade for Russ. 66% completion rate in 2021 as well.
He a good quarterback, man. It's just he ain't been the same since he hurt his knee. He was a monster before then. Mm-hmm. I always had love for Teddy, mainly because he carried my first name.
Yeah, but I think he would be a good option to bring into Baltimore as that bridge quarterback, and help us win a few games. Let's see. Let's pay some bills over here. Let's see what they say here. Let's see. Brooks says, I wasn't even able to post my D-Hop manifestation post today. I'm so depressed. Okay, yeah, you need to keep posting those because we definitely would like to have D Hop here. But D Hop, I imagine, don't want to go nowhere until Lamar figures out this mess. Get your life.
Man, that's what he ain't coming. Ain't no receiver coming in until they figure out who the quarterback gonna be. That's a big part of it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So next is I'm hoping D Hop internet broke today.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Nana says, Brooke baby, yes, today was a rough day. Indeed, it was a rough day for Ravens fans. Look, yeah, like y'all can get emotional about it, or y'all can just sit back and realize the status quo hasn't changed. Lamar hasn't left. We already knew he wanted to actually go look at other teams for a trade. He just needs them to know he's serious about wanting to go there.
This is not the
That
way.
he can actually get those offers.
You gotta get on the phone. That's not the way to do it. If you want to be your own agent, get your ass on the phone and call. That's what your agent's supposed to do.
Call them.
Be waiting there for somebody to call you. That's like you trying to date some chick. You gave her a number, but you ain't gonna call. I'm gonna wait.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna look at it. Yeah,
about 2 weeks.
I should probably call.
What happened? Get on the phone. You need to know. She need to know that you want her. I'm not saying it needs to be mutual. It does, but if you're not making the calls, how you doing it? That's my biggest problem. Like I understand you don't want an agent, but at the same time, it's rules that you got that only apply to agent and the player. That you can't have nobody outside. Your mother can't make the calls. You got to make the calls.
Yep.
It says
they don't want to hear from nobody else. They want to hear from your gardener, your baker, your housekeeper.
Right.
You know? Our rule. Hear from the Channel 26 news guy, whoever else you got feeling around.
The NFL rule says if they're not associated with the NFLPA or they're not an agent, you cannot make that call. Like I don't know
the rules right here.
And if he don't want to make, he has to make the call. If he don't want to make the calls, because that's what it seems like. It's like, well, he hasn't heard anything. No one's called him. It's always been no one's called him. But if your agent's supposed to do that, right? Your agent's supposed to call and see what your worth is.
Or he could just stop rolling at the bowling alley and go to work and start visiting these places.
He has to make the calls.
Yep.
I want this to be over with. I want him to make the calls. I want him to get his check. I hope it's here with us, but I want him to make the calls. I don't think he's making the calls.
I think he got. I mean, honestly, if I want my money, I'm gonna go chase it. You know, I'm gonna just go on a couple of flights, go up to a couple of doorsteps. Like
you don't need to go nowhere. Like you, Lamar Jackson, just give me the numbers. I'll call them.
Yeah,
and if
they say come visit,
they don't want to. They probably don't want to match it anyway because they know that the Ravens are going to match it. So.
Because honestly, if I want to go, well, let's just say if I'm seriously legit about wanting to lead the Baltimore Ravens, and let's just say this rumor about the Patriots and Lamar is true, I'm getting on the phone. I'm calling Bill. I'm like, hey, coach, let me come to town. You know, let's talk it out. I want to come to New England. It's just that simple. They put terms together. Then they get on the phone with Eric DeCosta. They figure this whole thing out if he's serious about it. Waiting on people to call you. Sometimes you got to call them. You can't sit there and wait. She ain't gonna call. They don't call. I had to call Tony multiple times. We talked about that.
But crazy. Brooke, you watching the clock?
She ain't watching no clock. We're at 1 hour 13 minutes right now. All right, so here we are with another option. You ready? You ready for this option here? All right, here we go.
Let me tell you. Look, if he mess up, y'all, everybody give him the slack. It's about to go down. I wish I could. I was trying to get in the comment section. I'm going to have to go through my phone. Let me go through my phone and get on the page. Go ahead.
All right, here we go, folks. All right, so this guy, he's a mature player. He's had only 5 interceptions in the last 2 years. He's a quick decision maker. He's a dual threat. He extends plays. He looks the part. He's 6'4", 218 pounds, 26 years old. All right, y'all asked me to go look it up. Hendon Hooker, out of Tennessee. I'm not a big fan of Tennessee players, but you know what? People keep talking about this guy, so I kept looking. And the things that I saw with this guy on tape is this is a guy who can extend plays. He can move around, but he holds the ball about as long as Lamar does when it comes to trying to extend those plays. And, he needs to work on his footwork. Just work on the footwork and planting his feet when he goes to release. He's just another one of those guys who just throws off back foot or whatever way he can get that ball up. But he's got a great arm, powerful arm, can get the ball there. What do you think about Hendon?
He's another version of he's another Deshaun Watson, to be honest with you, but he's not going to be there. Somebody drafted him. He's a top 5 quarterback. He's a top 3 quarterback if he didn't get hurt. He's better than Anthony Richardson. He's better than Levi Levis. Is it Levis Wallace? Whatever.
Yeah, Will Levis.
Will Levis. He's better than both of them. He's the 3rd best quarterback in this draft.
But it's like on the sheets on everybody's mock draft, they got everybody. I think he's like number 5 or something like that, right? They got Levis above him. They got the young but they got
Young. It's the youngest Stroud, and it's either him or they have Hooker,
AR-15,
or they have Anthony Richardson. But Anthony Richardson is another Mitchell Trubisky. Like, he's only started 1 full year in college. He is not ready to start. So he's still, either way, I'm not with that type of talent and that type of ceiling, I'm not going to let him get out the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be surprised.
Wait, you say Hendon's not going to get outside the top 10?
Oh, Hendon?
Yeah.
He may.
I think he's definitely going outside the top 10.
If he didn't get injured,
yeah.
You look at every game, but thank you, Brooke. If you look at every game, before that injury, he was going to win the Heisman. He was that good.
Okay.
He was that good, and he's that mature. He's not. I would draft him and let him sit so he can heal, not because he don't have the talent.
Okay.
He's definitely ready to start. He has more experience than Anthony Richardson.
So what was his injury in college?
Yeah, the ACL.
Okay. I
think somebody hit him in his knee. Did somebody hit him in his knee, Reg? It was against South Carolina. I don't know if somebody hit him in his knee or how it happened, but it's an ACL tear. And this is the best year that Tennessee's ever had. And he transferred from Virginia Tech. And everybody, whether at Tech or Tennessee, speaks so high of this dude. And he's a leader. They were asking him, "Whoa, you were throwing a wide open receivers." He said, his response was, "Isn't that my job?" Like,
yeah, he has some serious burners there.
Yeah, he can run. So don't, I won't give you the slaps for this one.
I was like, hey, look, I got decent guys here, man. Like,
look, just because I got on here, I was able to get on through my phone. I just want to give you the slaps anyway.
Go get this here. You gonna slap me on the phone? You on the show, slap? You can't slap people when you own the show.
I'm just trying to get my slaps in anyway.
Disrespectful. Bruce saying this time. I don't know if it's time. Look, man, I've had a day. So what about, okay, so this one I didn't put up on the list, but let me go ahead and put this name in here anyway. I think we talked about this one before, and I'm a fan, but I just want to know what other people really think of this guy. Hang on just a second. Next guy, Cameron Ward, 6'2", 220 pounds. Like, this dude threw 3,200 yards and 23 passing touchdowns. I think he's a good dude. I watched the tape on him. I love everything about this guy, at least for the first 5 minutes of some of the reels that I saw on this guy. Then there were some things with footwork that were really off towards the end of his videos.
School?
This is Washington State.
Are you picking him because he's mobile? Because he's definitely not first round talent.
Yeah, no, not first round talent. I'm saying, like, hey, this is a cheaper pick you can pick up later rounds, developmental guy, but he's mobile, kind of, and actually has the same style as Hendon Hooker. I saw a lot of similarities between him and Hendon Hooker. Just a little bit shorter of a guy, but had the arm and was able to. But he had goofy feet, but still able to make good throws.
If it was non-contact when he hurt his knee, I'm going back to here.
Okay.
It was probably torn before then. That means it was something else. Could be wear and tear because he's a runner, so it could have been anything.
Hey, GK, Marcus signed somewhere with somebody.
Mariota, did he?
Yeah.
I think this. Look, our second quarterback is going to be Tyler Huntley. They picked it up already, so we know it's going to be him. And if Lamar's not here, it's going to be Tyler. and then we're gonna have to draft another quarterback. But I mean, I'm always gonna root for Lamar regardless of the situation. I just wish he would get everything done and handle this a little bit better than what he's handling it. I'm not saying he's not being classy or anything like that. I'm saying that maybe sometimes it's very hard for people to admit when things are too big for them.
Mm-hmm.
They're too stubborn. So sometimes when you're too stubborn, you get in your own way. I think we've all been there in life in some form of fashion. Yes. So somebody, instead of having yes men in your corner, somebody got to be able to say, listen, you need help to get this done. You know what I've learned? I have my own personal training business, and you get your certification to be a trainer. Just because you get your certification to be a trainer don't mean that you know how to train. It's just like I grew up doing martial arts all my life, and my father and I talk about this all the time. Just because you know an art or because you got a certain rank in the art doesn't mean that you can teach it, because everybody doesn't know how to teach it. So the only reason I'm saying that is because just because you have your degree to be an entertainment lawyer, which his mother does, doesn't mean that you know how to be, you know what you're doing exactly as an agent. You need to have somebody there that's going to
like an agent, with the experience.
Right. I mean, even if you didn't have an agent, somebody that maybe could be a retired agent, somebody that you can hire for the simple fact that, hey, help me out with the logistics of what they're saying. Or, hey, I need you. Let's forget about the negotiation part of it, because this part is not about negotiating. When you need people to be attracted to you as the player, you have to do the due diligence and make the calls that need to be made. This is what I'm talking about. This is part of being an agent. Make the calls that need to be made, because if you said back in March 2nd that you wanted to be traded, and I'm sure they said something to the teams, hey, you want to be traded, you want to trade him, blah, 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 whatever it may be. Then they say, okay, we put you on a non-exclusive. Some people found it disrespectful. I understood where it was coming from, because you've been negotiating all this time, nothing's been done. So how about you go out, find out what your worth is, and then we'll pay you.
And here's the other thing. So
then obviously we're gonna get some compensation, or we can't pay you. But that way you can have it done. But you have to do the due diligence and figure out what's going on. Right now, Lamar don't need to be promoting no travel training company. He don't need to be he need to be playing the agent that he's supposed to be playing.
Yeah, the total gym thing was just garbage. Terrible idea. Be honest with you, it looked terrible. But anyway, going back to what you were saying as far as the Lamar announcing, or excuse me, letting DaCosta know, hey, I would like a trade March 2nd. That's why all of those owners were able to come out so quickly and say we are out on Lamar, because they knew ahead of time that DaCosta was feeling around to try and meet those needs of Lamar, or at least having those discussions to try to say, hey, look, this guy wants to be traded. Because even with Hollywood, when everything was on the hush, when Hollywood wanted to be traded, the second he said that, Eric DaCosta went and looked for offers, and he got one at the owners' meeting. So I believe that those owners were already on the end with DaCosta when he went to go fill around the second Lamar said he wanted that trade.
I want to just answer something. Nana Ray says that she's pretty confident that Ms. Jones knows how to approach a negotiation. I'm sure she does know how to approach a negotiation, but you think about it this way, Nana. That's your son. Are you gonna be able to emotionally detach yourself from your son and take whatever they're gonna say? Because that's one of the things that EDC said that he could not do. He said, out of respect for Lamar, he cannot speak to Lamar the same way he would speak to an agent. So he's not like other that I will give Eric DaCosta that. He's not like every other. A lot of GMs don't even care.
Yeah, they've been cutthroat. They've been like, you know what? This is what your boy produced right here. I'm sorry for your son, but this is what we paying. Take it or leave it. Right. I got better things to do.
And the only reason I say that is because that's one thing that Roquan did not say about that he said about Baltimore that he did not say about Chicago, because they weren't like being up and up with him. and obviously they weren't, because at first they said they wanted to pay him, then they said they didn't, then they said, oh, we're not gonna pay you at all. Oh, okay, now we're gonna trade you. So that's what I'm saying. But the fact it all comes with experience. So I don't know how much Mrs. Jones has as far as negotiating anything with anybody. But the point being is this: I don't even care about the negotiations. If you're playing your own agent, she cannot call the other teams. It's either got to be the agent or it has to be the player that has to call the other teams to see what your worth is. And Lamar has to make those calls. That I don't know if he is, but from what I see, it's not being made. And the only reason I'm saying it's not being made because they're saying there's no noise, no one's contacted him. Forget them contacting you. You get off of Twitter, get off stuff. Don't have your hands in any other pot, because this should be the only pot that matters right now. Yeah. Don't have your hands in any pot as far as like, this is my business venture with such and such from back home. You can do that. He got to hold off for a second. Let me get my money. I don't care if it's from Baltimore. I don't care if it's from any other team. Let me get my money, and then we can work on this practice venture. Not saying it's not a good idea. Of course, it could look like it could be a great idea. He's not the first one to have a travel gym, though. It's just his particular travel gym and his particular package. He's not the first to do that.
Yeah, it looked terrible.
To be honest with you. But
right, so the thing about Felicia or Miss Jones, is she's negotiated some deals. She has. Kudos to her and being able to maneuver him into being the starter quarterback for Louisville. You know, kudos to keeping him at the position of quarterback. She's negotiated a couple of deals. But when it comes down to it, these owners and agents, Hold on.
What deals did she negotiate?
She was the one. She was the one that actually got Lamar to go to Louisville because they promised him that they would actually make him a quarterback there or keep him at quarterback there, because other teams were like, "Hey, we want this guy to be a wide receiver."
That's called parenting. That's not negotiating the deal. Yeah, that's being a parent.
I think any conversation you have is going to be a negotiation.
No,
but it's not a full on.
Huh? This is different. You know, this is different, bro. Don't do it that way. Don't do it that way. I'm not trying to put her down. I'm just saying that he has to. She cannot do nothing for him. He has to do it himself.
Yep.
At this point in time, that's the
thing. Like, she may have had those deals, right? But when it comes down to it, these agents have made tens of hundreds of deals. They come out there and they've set across the table and been able to hardball a full on a general manager or an owner / general manager of an organization and been able to get those deals done and actually went through the tactics properly. Mm-hmm. Like right now, they're going through and we're seeing it like, okay, well, why is this here instead of here? Why didn't they do this here instead of here? Why is this public and why is this not? What is this information? It's all a little confusing. It's not as well put together as an agent would put it together for a player. Right. And that's where the agent needs to come in to be able to shield these things and reveal what needs to be revealed and keep the player off of Twitter. But of course, there are players that still act out and want to be traded, and the organization usually folds. Deebo Samuel, for instance.
Yeah,
Deebo say, "Yo, I'm gone."
Yeah, they grown men. You can't tell somebody, they got to be more sensible, actually a little bit more smarter than just jumping on Twitter and doing foolery. But you're a grown man. You got to handle yourself like a grown man. But going back to, Nana had something else to say. Well, Jay Will said something about the computer. He said it's freezing, but
yeah, he's talking about the Lions basically. Okay, so his computers keep freezing. So he's constantly wanting Lamar to go to the Lions. And I'm not sure if that's a personal bias or what, but basically he's saying what the package would be in order to get Lamar there.
Now, what is Nana saying again? I'm sorry.
Nana saying she would take the negative about her son, and she should be equally equipped with the info about what the Ravens didn't do. The Ravens aren't innocent at all in this situation. It takes two to tango.
Yeah, hold on. I'm not. Before we go any further, I'm not pointing any fingers at anybody now. If I be saying what I'm saying, what I am pointing the finger at is for the fact that if you want this to go further than where it needs to be, is Lamar. I don't know if she can or she should be able to take the good with the bad, but this is your child that you're talking about. It's not.
That's my baby.
It's not just your, somebody that you just negotiating for.
Hmm.
So I don't, just anybody on the street. So I don't know what she can take. So I can't speak for what and I can't say. I never said the Ravens are innocent. I never said they're not. No one's innocent in this
No,
situation.
it's not. I mean, like I said, it takes two
Both
to be able to agree to a deal,
sides.
and they just whether one part is a little bit further away than the other party thought they would be. Yes, there's two people that have to eventually agree on a deal or
We
step
got,
out of a room, and so then of course if you have that disagreement, then yeah, both parties are sitting there
we,
not happy, they're not
we
satisfied.
we got to stop saying if we know anything about the Ravens, we should know that they are willing to play great players. And so we need to stop at some point in time. We got to stop saying like, look, they didn't offer him anything. They obviously did offer him something,
Yep.
but also you have to, if you playing your own agent, you going back to the NFLPA. They saying one thing, you come back and get upset and say, no, we don't want it this way. So we're past that point. My point is this: as it goes down, at this point in time, where we stand right now, he has to play his own. He says he's his own agent. He has to act like his own agent and do the due diligence that he needs to do. Contact the teams to find out who wants him. That's the only thing that we can do right now because there's no way in the world that you sit here and not do nothing and think somebody's gonna come knock at your door. If you want to be traded, since that's come out, and you need to find out what your worth is, you need to contact the teams. That's his job if he's playing his own agent.
Man, look at this. Oh, he said y'all gonna stop attacking my QB and my second mom. We got this.
I'm
Look,
not. I'm not.
this is not a tax. This is just real. Y'all keep
No,
saying
everybody gets
confirmation,
defensive with
blinders, all
it.
this other nonsense, whatever.
Like, I'm a true Lamar fan, so nobody can tell me I'm not a Lamar fan. Nobody can tell me that. I was a Lamar fan. I would have been. I'm gonna be rooting for him regardless if he stayed in Baltimore or not. I'm always gonna root
Yeah, I
for
mean,
him.
I'm going root. I'm a little upset. I'm
No, I'm
mad.
not upset at all. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of this though. This
Yeah,
is
I'm tired of the situation. I want the deal to be done.
this
I'm done with the whole let's see
time.
what we can push out into the media as far as drama. I'm tired of him in this whole Twitter business. I'm tired of the media making up stories to try and get this dude to come out. I just want them, Eric DaCosta and Lamar Jackson, to get in the room and to figure this thing out. That's all I want.
If he want to leave, then by all means, you do what you got to do. I respect that. What I'm saying is, my whole thing is again, if you gonna play your manager, don't be lazy. Do your job.
Hey,
If
Chris,
you
man,
gonna play your
appreciate you,
agent,
man.
do your job. Thank you.
Popped out $4 or $5 for us. Estimated cap in 2026 is close to 300 million.
Yes. So
Okay.
do your job. Again, everybody, y'all all up here defending him, but nobody up here saying what the truth is. Does he not have to do his job? If he gonna play his agent, who's supposed to negotiate for him? Who's supposed to contact the teams? Lamar Jackson. Nobody else can do that.
I think honestly, this is guy. He loves to have fun, right? You know, let him have his fun. Let him go be himself, his magical, awesome, fun self, whatever. But let an agent handle the business from the business side. That way, he ain't got to worry about it. Maybe he can just sit back and look at his phone for text messages or whatever. Hey, this is what I got you. You know, I was listening to the book called Never Shut Up with Marcellus Wiley, and his agent did the work for him, and it was so beautiful how he explained how the whole thing played out. And he would sit there, the agent would call and say, hey man, we got you, 3 years for this. And he was like, I think it was at 21 mil or something like that. And Marcellus was like, I think we should take it. The agent said, no, we're gonna go fight for more. The agent got him up to the magical number of 41 mil or something like that, or was it 39 or 40 mil? And Marcellus was like, this is let's go ahead and go for more. And the agent said, finally, no, this is it. This is the number. This is what I was trying to get you to. And he's like, should I do it? And he's like, yeah, this is the one. This is what you pay me for. That's what an agent does. They go back and forth with the organization. They probably talk trash about Marcellus and his toe injury and all types of other injuries that he had throughout his career. And Marcellus didn't hear a word about it because he was sitting back, letting the agent do the work for him. That's what Lamar needs to do.
Even Hopkins went and got an agent after this last deal because he's trying to get to a certain place and make sure everything is done. Sometimes you got to get an agent. I mean, you're only paying him a small percentage. I mean, I understand you can keep the money and give it to somebody else, but all Roquan did is keep it and give it to his advisors.
Yeah, this is generational wealth.
He gave him a smaller amount because
Yeah.
you don't have agent on it. But if you're an advisor, you're still playing some form of an agent because you're helping them figure stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we acting like it ain't happening?
Yeah, it's generational wealth we talking about. It's like nickels, like full on. I say pennies on a dollar. Is that what he's going to have to pay this agent to get a piece of the pie to get him a max, and it'll be worth it. It will be worth it. If I get, if Lamar gets a $55 million a year contract with, let's say, 190 of it, $190 million guaranteed, and the agent, let's say, gets 3% of that. Like, come on, it's well worth it. It's well worth it. The agent gets 3% because he went in there and got to the table and got this organization to bend over and give up that much money.
I'm not trying to drag his mother down, Nana. I would never do that to any woman. But I'm simply saying the experience of sitting there and negotiating. When it's somebody when you negotiating for somebody that's close to you, you're gonna fight more for them, which is a great thing.
Absolutely, there's emotion tied into it because you have that bond. You have birthed this child and raised them up.
And I don't know if he's
higher than any of these individuals.
We don't know. Right. I don't know if she's the one that's negotiating it. Maybe it's just Lamar.
Like I said, I think it's just Lamar. I mean, Eric DeCosta has said plenty of times when he talks about it on the podium that it's him and Lamar.
Again, if it's just him and Lamar, at the end of the day, it still goes back to that experience on dealing with certain things. Like, you got to give and take. In any negotiation, you give and take. No one walks away happy. So it can't be one-sided. But at this point in time, again, like I keep saying, at this point in time, and I will never disrespect her, I love them both. I think he's an amazing person. He was doing stuff at Louisville that was amazing. And I'm talking about off the field, eating with kids and whatnot. I'm not talking about on the field. My whole thing is at this point in time, if you still have to play that agent and you saying that you want to trade, it takes two. No one's just going to call because you said that. You have to go and find out what's going on. The rules state it's either the agent or the player that has to talk to the teams. No one outside the NFLPA, unless they are associated with the NFLPA, can talk. And he said he's not dealing with the NFLPA anymore, which he should. I'm glad he hasn't. I'm glad he's done with them because that's part of the reason why this is taking so long.
Yeah, it's dragged out since August the 8th, basically.
Yeah. Well, it's been dragged out since, really, if you think about it, the NFLP's been with him since last season.
Mm-hmm.
So they've dragged this whole thing. They've made this harder because ever since the Deshaun Watson thing.
Yeah, that's why I think that they like August 8th because that's kind of when the grievance was filed.
Right.
And I think I think after that, Lamar should have been able to get a deal right after that time frame.
Right.
Or even before that time frame, he could have been able to get a deal done if he didn't have those extra people in his ears. All he needs is one person in his ear, and that's his agent.
Look, if I don't know, I don't want to count his money because I'm not going to pull no numbers.
4 years or 2
I can pull numbers. Yeah, I can do all that. I'm not going to pull.
Yeah, I'm like, unless you talking about that's a fact that it got done during the show, I really
pull those numbers. My whole thing is just let them do your job, bro. To find out what you need to find out. That's my whole thing on Lamar. If I was able to speak to him myself, yo,
Reg, you keep talking about Bisciotti. It is Eric DeCosta going to match the offer, not Bisciotti. Bisciotti has the money bag. Eric DeCosta manages the money bag. And then he makes the decision on whether or not they're going to maneuver that amount of funds and contracts around to meet that offer. DeCosta said,
hold on, Reg. Go back to Reg. When y'all talk to him, bro? When did y'all talk to him?
Cam, I told you we talked to Irsay, and they are interested. He said the only problem is that he thinks Bisciotti will match y'all. Eric DeCosta was matched out.
When did we talk to? When did we? We.
Yeah, I think he was in the room. I think Big Reg was there.
Reg was in the room. When did we talk to?
Reg was a fly on the wall. Just they look good. They look good.
Reg.
All right, let's see. Brooks says, do you really think it's about the money, or do you think Lamar just doesn't want to be here? Maybe Greg have him PTSD. It's about the money. It is about the money. He said it himself. It's the value. You know, he said the Ravens do not value him at the number he wants to be valued at. There's a number he has in mind that he thinks that he should be worth. And right now he is learning a very tough lesson.
Listen,
because are they calling? We don't know. But obviously him coming out today and doing what he did today is a statement that's saying it's not as much traction as he thought he was going to get.
Because I wouldn't have been talking about it last week when Irsay did visit Nana. Visit. Did he? See, this is my thing. Everybody talking about it, but I didn't hear it on. Did I miss it? Did nobody?
Yeah, it was a tweet that popped out. Irsay isn't here or whatever.
Any of the sports channels, like Irsay was in the visit. You know, I don't know. Maybe they had $1 billion meeting. I don't know what's going on with these folks. I need to get in that circle, though. I need that money.
Yeah.
Need that money. Need that billions. Need millions.
Yeah. So I'm figuring, like, okay, if they have, he's catching offers, it's not what he thought it's going to be. And I think right now, the offer that is sitting on the table with the Ravens, this is Jermaine Locke's opinion. This is Couch Rider Ravens' opinion. This is not like what is out there. I honestly think the offer he's got right now from the Ravens, he's not getting the same traction from the outside. It can't be, because the deal would have probably been, the offer sheet would have already been signed. Right?
That's true.
They left the deal sitting over here with the Ravens, sitting on the table. And right now he's hot about it. So he's trying to get those other teams to realize he is serious about wanting to be traded.
The GM from today, the GM from Indianapolis said that how talented Lamar is, and we always do our back,
do your homework, yeah.
Homework on the talent and da-da-da-da. No, I live in Jersey, Nana. I don't want you to beat me up. I live in Jersey.
Brooke saying, she's saying he could just be trying to not offend us, though. I mean, Greg gave me PTSD, and I didn't even have to play for. Girl, don't let Greg alone. He gone. He gone, and he's over there doing something else with the ground game, doing some new tweaks so he can fool another offense. But they let Greg alone.
But they're not the only ones, though, Big Reg, that think that nobody wants to do the homework for the Ravens, as far as they're gonna match them. Yeah, because if they, regardless of what the number is, you got to take that on. You're gonna lose draft picks, and then on top of that, you still got to build that team.
Yeah, with the money you just completely threw $50 million down the whole year.
Listen what I'm saying. Before you say anything, think about that roster for Indianapolis. Tell me that team
is championship ready.
Was the NFL, was it ready right then and there to win the Super Bowl? Because you still got to you bringing in a brand new coach.
I think Reg is saying he's the agent now. That's what he said. What he's getting at. He says, "I'm gonna call Bill next, but I'd rather the Pats not be the next destination." I tell you what, Reg, if you and Lamar's Baker and Gardner and Gymnast and all, if y'all want to go ahead and do that and violate the NFLPA rules and fine that organization $52,000 because they violated, have it.
No, well, I know about Irsay getting there, going there, Nana. I just wanted to, once I hear about it via tweet, I want to see what NFL Live or any of them are going to say, because usually that's what happens. Like, Jim Irsay was in such and such. What do y'all think? Like, that never came up in any of the shows. So I was curious, like, okay, well, he's there. He could be there for another reason. We don't know. He could have family in Baltimore. We don't know. Jim Irsay also likes the blues. He collects guitars. So
I want to go back to this comment. Just one up here with Chris.
For many reasons. Go ahead.
So he was talking about the cap number up to 300 million.
Right.
So of course that allows people to make this deal could be more realistic
right.
for the Ravens if they get it done, because they can put a lot more back 2 years, because they will estimate like, all right, the cap's going up, we'll have enough space to be able to make that type of room. So this deal can get done. It's
Right.
just trying to get them to agree on a number.
But from what's being said, is that he's not upset. He's not looking fully guaranteed. It's just the guarantees, period, which they are. Maybe it needs to go a little higher in certain areas. So that's basically what it is. And it seemed like it's that first guarantee since he tweeted out the 133 in 3 years, or 133 and 4 years.
133 3 years, yeah, fully guaranteed.
He didn't like that. So apparently he wants that. That's the main guarantee. Apparently he wants that. He's not even talking about the injury guarantees and everything. Apparently he wants that to be higher. So maybe they push it up to 150, 170 something, and then it'll be over 210.
Yeah.
That is July 17th, I believe, the last day before he has to sign.
Yeah, and the thing is, if he got all the way up to week 10 before they add an extra year on to actually sign the deal, like the long-term deal, it has to be signed before the 17th July.
We overdid the time, brother. We had an hour some change.
Yeah, we are hour and 46. All right, so here it is, folks. We really appreciate you coming through. Like I said, thanks to y'all who just kind of support the channel. For those of you who come through and just are loyal, they hit that bell, and so they're here continuously first when they coming around. Delicious, Big Reg, and Nana. I appreciate y'all. Adit, love you, man. Y'all have been so loyal to us. I know that there are other shows going on right now talking about the Ravens, but your loyalty, it really means worlds to Cam and I. We really do appreciate y'all coming through. Yeah. Well, I put up these options up here for quarterback just for entertainment. Of course I got the slaps because of it. So
it's all entertainment, brother. We love it.
Yeah. It's a fun time, man. I appreciate all of y'all coming through. I appreciate my family coming through. That was pretty cool. Between my boy Kendall and my brother GK, it's been a great time. Thanks for just tuning in to the home of Original Sports Perspective from our couch to yours. We'll do another show on Wednesday. Y'all can pick the topic by either tweeting it at the Couch Rider Raven, or y'all can just leave it in the comments of what you want to hear about next. Like I said, tell your friends, tell your wife, tell your kids about the show, because we keep this thing rocking, and I want to keep those motivation quotes going as well, because y'all deserve it. You deserve that drive to keep going. You got any final thoughts, man?
Wednesday they had to change my schooling to Wednesday, so I may get on a little late with you.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna be traveling. So I start school at 7. I should be out of there about 8:30, maybe 9 o'clock Eastern time, and that's a good 30-minute ride up for where I live. So I'm gonna catch y'all probably 10 o'clock my time. Put it that way, which would be 9 o'clock your time. So I think that's 15 minutes off of what time you normally start.
About 8:45 Central. So it'll be 9:45 Eastern. So keep this in mind. For those of y'all who are listening to the show later on or looking at the recordings, join us live. We are 8:45 Central Time. If you want to join us live on the show and hop into the chat. Right. We've had a few people that actually popped on the show and that were in the live chat as well. We had Jose last week, so just be aware of that. If Cameron's not here, we'd love to have you on as well. So just keep that in mind. Have your video and your streaming ability ready. I'll put the link in the chat. And we can do it up. But that's all we got for tonight's show. Thanks for tuning in to the home of Original Sports Perspective. I'm the Couch Rider Raven, Jermaine Lockett. This is my main man, Cameron. We're saying 2 claps, fade to black.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.